everyone. This is HBCU Game Day, and I am Symone Stanley. Today, joined by a track star. He is Jay Johnson Jr., former NC State Wolfpack, and now he is going to be a St. Augustine University Falcon. Jay, just the letter J, guys.
Yes.
Thanks so much for joining me.
No problem. I'm happy to be here.
Of course, super excited to have you here. So Jay, I'm sorry, I've never met anyone with one letter on their name. Do you get does that confuse people a lot for you, or?
Yeah, it definitely does. Like substitute teachers, they used to try to call me out, and like when I fill out like certain forms online, they say you need at least multiple letters or multiple
Oh my
things.
God, I didn't even think about that.
Okay, I'll put in like J dot, or sometimes I'll have to put JAY just to get by, but yeah.
I didn't even think about that. So you grew up in North Carolina. I'm a Carolina girl as well. What was the track culture like in the Carolinas when you were growing up?
Yeah, so like quick gist, like I didn't even start running track until my junior year of high school.
Oh, wow.
That's kind of when I like started really getting into it. And I think the track culture is amazing in North Carolina, because I remember I was at an indoor track meet, and somebody I never seen before, he came up to me. He was the coach of Track Explosion. And he was like, "You got speed, like I want you to join our summer track team." And I didn't even know there was summer track at the time, but I knew I wanted to get faster. So I was like, cool, yeah, I'll join, So I used to go to football practice early in the morning, and then go to summer track practice in Southeast Raleigh. It was his name was Coach Ant, was his name. And yeah, so like ever since then, like I've always vibed with the track culture here in North Carolina. We got like some of the fastest people in the world. So, it was just great to just be in North Carolina and be able to, compete with these people, practice with like great people and things of that nature.
That's awesome. I didn't know summer track was a thing either, and I actually ran track, but I guess I was too slow to be invited to the summer track clubs, but it is. So you said you didn't start until your junior year of high school. So what were you doing before then, and what introduced you to track and field?
Yeah, so I was mainly a football guy. And that's honestly why I even started track. Our football coach made us run track. So I started running track. And then honestly, before I was really heavily into sports, I was like an entrepreneur. I had my first app when I was 14.
Oh, wow.
Ended up doing pretty well, and yeah.
Okay, so what were you, running back, wide receiver?
I was a mixture of things. So like I started off as running back, then I went to quarterback, then I went to wide receiver, then I went to DB, and then I also did special teams as well. I guess when you're fast, like they just put you anywhere.
Anywhere. So at what point did you realize that you wanted to take track long term, at least to the college level?
In my senior year. So when I was competing against, I think it was Tyrese Cooper at Liberty University, I ran the #1 time in the country. And when I did that, like I knew it was like I was probably just gonna never do football again and just do track, because I just thought like having an Olympic gold medal is just something in my future now. Like since I'm the fastest person in the country, I might as well go for gold.
That's awesome. So is the Olympics still on your to-do list?
Oh yeah, for sure. I definitely want to get that gold. So I'm working towards that every day.
That's awesome. Can't wait for that. So what made you originally commit to to run track at NC State?
So it was actually a combination of a few things. So I was my junior year when I had first started track, there was a guy, Cravant Charleston, and he was NC as well. He went to Mallard Creek, and he ran, I think he was like #1 or #2 in the country. So like every meet, I would like always compete against him, and he committed to NC State. And then also Dylan Peebles, who was like one of the top runners my junior year, he committed to NC State. And then they also got Alan Johnson, who was a Olympic gold medalist. He was a world record holder once before. And I was like, they got the fastest people in the country. They got one of the best coaches, like, and it's local. I might as well just go here, be close to family. And they were actually the the second school to reach out, first big one school to reach out. And, I'm that type of person that's like really looks at that like, okay, they were the first people to really be like, okay, we want this guy, and I really take that to heart. And that's why I committed. And yeah.
That's awesome. So are you really from Charlotte? Like what part of North Carolina are you from?
So I was born in Durham, but raised in Morrisville. It's like near Cary.
Okay, so right in the Research Triangle, NC State area. So you were right at home.
Yeah, yeah.
So on your Instagram bio, it says 5th fastest person at NC State. What does that mean? Is that for a specific race? Is that over a certain period of time? Currently, what does that mean?
Yeah, so I ran the 5th fastest ever 60-meter dash
Wow.
at NC State, and I also ran the 5th fastest ever 300-meter dash at NC State. So that's why I kind of just put 5th fastest ever at NC State, because the 60-meter.
Ask questions later,
Yeah, because the 60 meters, like you need like true speed to be a top 60-meter runner. And then the 300 is like, it means you can kind of hold your speed as well. So instead of just putting like 5th fastest 300 and 60, I just said 5th fastest ever at NC State, because, that's just how I, think and feel.
And then it's also conversation started just like that. So what was your specialty? What is your specialty at the moment on the track?
So my specialty is sprints. So like 60-meter, 100-meter. And then I'm getting back in the long jump as well. I took a little break, but I think I want to be back now. I was actually a state champ in the long jump, and I feel like I can jump really far again. So yeah.
So is that something you're going to participate in at St. Aug, or? Yeah,
that's what I plan to participate in, long jump as well as the sprints.
Okay, so what area of growth did you see the most while competing at NC State?
Regarding the track or just regarding the life?
Or in life in general, just whatever.
I feel like I learned a lot at NC State. They had a lot of good resources. And I learned a lot about just myself, about, how I am in an environment like that. Like around so many people. Like NC State, I think has like over 30,000 people. So I kind of learned a lot about just how I am as a person. And as for with track, I kind of learned that being patient is a true virtue of success. Like rushing things and just trying to complete something fast, even though I am fast, ironically, but rushing things and trying to do things fast is not the best option. And being patient with yourself, being patient with your body, mind, will pay in the long term. And I also learned like trusting yourself and trusting your gut will pay dividends later as well.
Okay, I like that. I'm gonna have to write that one down, listen to that back later. So at what point did you realize your time at NC State could be coming to an end, and what sparked the need for change?
Yeah, I knew my time was coming to an end when I kind of met with the coach, because when I first got to NC State, I was actually 17. So I was really young, and I had just started track like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
But they had me in 4 events every single meet. And before the outdoor season, I talked with the coach and everything, and they were like, don't put Jay in sprinting events and jumping events at the same meet. But the next meet, they still did it, and I got hurt that meet. And I was like, we just talked about this. And it was like at a time where I was so young, where I like to the authority, I didn't want to be like, yo, take me out of this.
Yeah.
Like, I just kind of was just like, oh, they put me in this, I'm going to do it because, I want scholarship. I got to listen to what they say. So I didn't really have that voice. So when I got hurt and they tried to just like rush me back into practicing every opportunity they could and just push me to my like edge every time, I'm like, I'm 17, 18. I have so much time to grow. I have so many years here. Why would I want to just rush to come back after an injury when I could take my time, develop, become back stronger rather than rushing and coming back, somewhat healthy, So when that happened, I kind of started having like mixed feelings about NC State. And I knew that because I was an entrepreneur before I was like a true athlete. So I knew I had other skills beyond sports, and I knew that they probably weren't going to support this because this was before the NIL,
Yeah.
the new NIL rule. So, I just felt like I was getting put into this box because I couldn't reach my full potential with track. I couldn't excel in my entrepreneurship path. So I was just like, I'm just gonna stop running and pursue. I wanted to pursue football. Um, and then that didn't go my way. So then that's when I just started building my own brand and training by myself and doing my own thing. So yeah, while still attending NC State.
Yeah, that's tough. And that's usually somebody so young when they're injured, usually they want to hurry up and rush back, even though that's definitely not what's best for them. So that's awesome that you would like kind of wise beyond your years and knowing like it's better to wait and fully healed and come back partially healthy and then have like a nagging injury long term. So shout out to you for that. So what made you decide to go to St. Aug? Because even in North Carolina alone, there's a lot of other really good track programs. So what made St. Aug the program for you?
That's a good question. So I reached out to the St. Aug coach, and I when I toured the facility, it just kind of felt like home already. And that the coach that I mentioned earlier, Coach Ant, he actually went to St. Aug.
Oh, okay.
And then I remember on my tour, I was talking to the new coach Batman, and they said he had just started that last week, right? And I don't take signs like that slightly, like the odds of, this whole new shift in the program, me, just having a just itch to reach out to this coach without even knowing they got a new coach and all that just aligning was a really big reason why I wanted to go there. And also because it was close to where I already was. So I've been building my companies in Raleigh. So I have employees in Raleigh, and I just have a great foundation in Raleigh. I joined the fraternity at NC State. So I just have a really good network in Raleigh already. So the fact that there's a really great track program with an amazing coach in Raleigh, and I don't have to go far, I don't have to move far, and everything is already right there. I kind of already feel at home. It's not a huge transition because I already got a lot going on. I didn't want to like put too much stress on myself and things of that nature. So it just felt really aligned. And I that's probably one of the main reasons why I wanted to commit there. And I remember also talking to the coach, and he emphasized how he wants his athletes to be multidimensional, like beyond track. Like there's a life beyond track, right? So I'm a full believer in that. And that aligned with, my mission and what I was trying to do. So I just felt really aligned with St. Aug.
That's awesome. And you're definitely multi-dimensional. Anytime I try to say a big word, I honestly regret it every time. So I don't even know. But you're definitely multifaceted. How's that? You are a track star, like we said, TikTok star, and a business owner. How do you balance all of that?
So I balance all that by it takes discipline, and I there's this quote, and it's like you're either gonna be sorry about you're gonna be sorry about your regrets, or you can be sorry during the time when you're disciplined. Like you're gonna struggle in either one of those aspects. So I always choose the point of struggling within the discipline and waking up at 6 a.m. to go train. So that way I can be done by 9 to work on my business for 4 to 5 hours. And then I have a second workout, and then I can, have a relaxed time at the end of my day. Right. And also that discipline takes into account of like, not going out every weekend, and not watching Netflix and things of this nature. Some people say it's boring, but it's like I have goals and I have visions. Those things will always be there. My friends that are my true friends will always be there. That Netflix show will always be there, but that time will not. You know what I'm saying? I'm 22, so it's like, I have a lot of energy right now, and I would rather use my time right now to really focus in on building, my businesses, building my brand, building up my speed, so that way I can, have a lot of, benefits later on in life. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's one of the things that kind of sets me apart is like I'm very disciplined, and I also, practice like spiritual practices as well, like meditation, mindfulness, things like journaling. So that way I don't have like excess energy and things of this nature holding me back. And I also make sure I reflect on things when I like, do feel drained or do feel like, okay, like my life is like kind of going downhill, like in reflecting on, okay, what did I do that kind of triggered this downfall, and learning from that and being able to actually cultivate the things that I learned and practice them.
Okay, that's awesome. So you kind of read me fulfilled just a little bit with Netflix part because I've been binging a little bit lately, but
It's all good.
I won't take it personal. I'm just playing. So when you keep mentioning businesses, I'm familiar with the speed training business that you have. Is that your only one, or you have a couple other businesses?
Oh, so that's one of my businesses. That's like passive income. Um, but I have a light technology company. So during the beginning of the pandemic, this was when I had like I stopped running track at NC State in 2019 fall. So it was right before the pandemic when I stopped. And then when the pandemic hit, I had just so much abundance of free time, right? So I've like built skills like graphic design, web creation, marketing throughout my years. So when I came across UVC technology, I thought, I could be one of the people that kind of gets this technology out there. So when I built Clean Rays, at first it was just regular UVC light, and I was just selling like phone sanitizers, not phone wands, but UVC wands. And from doing research within UVC, I actually came across this article that had just released that same day, like hours before I found it, about this new type of UVC light, and it was called far UVC, and it was the 222 nanometer. And I had just ironically been seeing 222 just like when I was like looking at my phone at license plate and receipts and things of that nature. So when I saw this, I was like, what is this 222? And it was this new type of UVC that actually did not harm humans. So it could still eliminate 99% of pathogens out of the air, surfaces, and liquids, but not harm people. So it could basically can create a continuous sanitization solution, and basically creating virus-proof spaces, right? So, when I came across this, I started searching up like this technology in depth, and I saw no company was selling this. Now, no company had this technology. So that's when I was like, okay, no company's doing this. I just stopped running track because I have all this free time. I'll build a company and sell it. Like if nobody else would do it.
Right.
So that's what I did. So I've been building that for like over 2 years now. And the progress I've been able to achieve within this space has been astonishing. Like I honestly be surprising myself sometimes about, exactly what we're accomplishing, what we're doing. So that's one of my companies that I'm building. And then recently I've acquired an app. So it's a frequency app, and you can basically tap into certain frequencies like 888 hertz, 432 hertz. And the reason why I started this application was because I had already been listening to frequencies for a few years. But on YouTube is where I usually source my frequency. You can't really listen to them when you're off the app. There's ads and there's a bunch of distractions on YouTube. Those suggested YouTube videos, you can get just easily distracted and your mind can go somewhere else beyond the frequency. So I wanted just like easy way to just tap into frequency. So that's why I built High Frequency Highway. So that way people can also take advantage of this as well. And that's currently on the App Store. So those are my businesses there. And with TikTok as well, it's just I partner with a lot of top brands from my page like Nike, Panera, and recently I've had the opportunity to partner with World Athletics and USATF, which was an amazing experience. I'm actually still working with them to get the next generation excited about track. And this really sets me apart, I think, from a lot of different track athletes, because this was the first time they've ever done anything like this. So I've actually got to talk to names like Justin Gatlin, Trayvon Bromell. I had the chance to talk to Usain Bolt's agent. And I kind of have like this kind of perspective on track that's like, I know the back scene and I know the current, athlete role as well. And I can kind of use that and trying to like, I want to excel and become a gold medalist, be better than these guys. So definitely gonna use that to my advantage.
That's incredible. So you definitely some kind of technology major.
No, I'm self-taught. I'm self-taught.
Oh, okay. Self-taught. I like that. You definitely taught yourself a lot. Okay. So this has been awesome. But Jay, I want to know, what are you the most excited about for your career at St. Aug?
I'm excited to run really fast, and I'm excited to actually compete against in college meets again, because for these last 2 years I've been having to like fund my own meets, and that was more than I expected. Like
Yeah.
I did not expect it to be that difficult or that costly. So I'm excited to just be able to focusing on the race and focusing on the running rather than all that external things and things of that nature. So yeah, that's what I'm most excited about. And I'm also really excited to work with Batman and get his knowledge.
That's awesome. Well, Jay, this was a great conversation. I definitely learned a lot, and I'm super excited. We are all super excited to continue to follow your career now that you're going to be a St. Aug Falcon. But thank you so much for your time. I know you're definitely a busy man, so me getting this 10, 15, whatever minutes, I know I'm definitely appreciative to have some of your time.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, guys, I'm Symone Stanley. This is HBCU Game Day. Thank you guys so much for watching.